So I've got several of these 1970s GT750 engines that I'm taking apart. One of them, that one, I've taken the head and the cylinder block off already. It was a huge pain. And these two have got the heads off, but the cylinder blocks have to come off. It's a real issue with these things to get the block off. The head's really difficult. If they've been sitting a long time, usually you snap off a bolt or a stud in the head and it's a pain to get out. And the cylinder blocks issue with these studs that go up through the block corrode, like these ones, and they seize in the aluminum head or the aluminum block, and it's pretty much impossible to get off. So we make a plate like this. This one I used 1/2 inch thick steel, and you pick up the holes from the head pattern. These ones I've tapped 1/2 inch 13, and we'll put these long bolts into here, and the idea is that you use these other ones to bolt this plate to the block, and then these turn down and push on the studs, and it should lift the block off of the crankcase. But sometimes it's so tight, like on that engine, it's so tight that it actually rips the bolts right out of the block and you ruin the threads, so then you have to do thread repair and everything. It's a huge pain. So anyway, we're going to give this one a try. So I have the plate bolted on. You want to bolt it on with bolts that are as long as possible without bottoming out, because it takes a lot of torque to get the thing to move, and it can pull the bolts right out of the block. So anyway, and this one here, the bolt broke off, and so I had to just drill and tap it temporarily just to put something in there. So I put a clamp on it just in case. And other than that, so you just tighten all these bolts down. I didn't put a couple of them in, but this is more than enough. And tighten them the same all the way across, and then gradually lift it off. Now, so it's already lifting, and it didn't take much, but this side, the right side of the engine, is super tight. It's not moving, and I found the same thing happened with that engine, and it's because this stud here is a locating stud, and it's really tight in the hole. It's kind of like an interference fit, so now that it's corroded, it's pretty much seized in there. So I poured a bunch of release salt in all the holes and let it sit, and I might get a torch or something and try and heat the block up a bit after a while and see if I can get it to move. To be persuaded all the way out. So now I'll start tightening all of them the same. Okay, looks like we're home free. So I finally got it off. Pistons don't look too bad. But these studs look terrible. That was the bad one that got seized up in there. You can't get these ones anymore. You can still get these from Suzuki, but you can get these, I think, on eBay. Somebody in England makes them. And to get the studs out, you can use one of these. I got it on eBay for fairly cheap. And the tighter you turn, the tighter it grabs. They can be very difficult to get out. You might have to heat them up with a torch. And if you're using 1/2-inch bolts on here, remember you can only go so far, and then they start to bind because the bores get smaller as it goes through. So once it goes so far, you have to turn these bolts down or use 3/8 bolts instead. Anyway, thanks for watching.